beginning? Yeah. So before beginning, I would like to do a quick audience check. So how many of your students and how many of your developers? Students, raise your hands. Okay. Developers? Okay, thank you. Thanks for your response. So this session, documenting AI software like Pro, techniques, tools, and trends. So this session is going to be for main career professionals. The students also looking to start their own business maybe, or who's ready to dive into consulting AI products now. And if you are a developer or if you are a product manager or consultant, it is also going to be much useful for you. So basically, let me introduce myself. So I'm Aarthy and I'm currently doing my MTech data science at Coimbatore College of Technology, Coimbatore. And as a side by side, I'm also doing freelancing. So I will maintain around 8 to 9 clients. So it is a solo business. So yeah, so this consulting experience has given me a lot of potential, like to participate in events and mentor students and also take handle sessions like this. And so I'm very glad to be part of DevFest Coimbatore. And you all know, right? This session's theme is going to be for responsible AI, ethical AI, sustainable AI, and kind of some secure AI things that is presently there. So I'm going to align this session to the theme of DevFest. So let's go to the session 2. So yeah, so if you're a student, developer, manager, consultant, a solution architect, or even if you're a customer support specialist or ticket support engineer, any kind of role you are in, this session is for you, and I'm sure that at the end of the day you will get some of the takeaways to make some best practices in your development and testing as well. So recently, before a couple of months, while I was going through my Reddit feed, I hope everyone knows what Reddit is. And I saw this saying. So, a well-written documentation is better than any online course to learn a framework, extract education. So, if you are doing a product and if you are documenting well, and if you are aligning it to reach your users or customers or students or developers those are going to use the product, you are pro in developing the product. And as you can see the meme here, so everyone wants to open issue, ask doubts, like approach developers, ask them queries and have interaction, but no one wants to read documentation individually and develop their knowledge. In India around most of the population wants to consume videos more rather than learning with books or documentation, according to recent statistics. So that is one of the major concerns why documentation and product documentation teams fail to meet the standards. Okay, so yeah. So if you take AI software development and traditional software development that does not involve AI in any kind of modules, so these are the differences between the AI software development and the traditional software development. So these are the aspects. We have traditional software here and AI software here. So first, data dependency. All of you know, if you are building an AI product, data plays a major role right from the start to the end. So, and traditional software, it would be very relying in a very less manner compared to AI products. And next we have testing and validation. So AI is black box in nature, and there are technologies emerging like ethical AI, explainable AI, and also developers are working hard to explain the users and the developers regarding security concerns and price terms, and that is why this session is for developers as well. And other software follows standard testing and explainability. This traditional software, like maybe mobile application or web application, have very standard logic. They have UML diagrams, like the logic is very much very clear to all. But in AI software, there is no transparency is not there, right? So we have to mitigate that and we have to resolve that by documenting it very better so that even any user can use it with confidence. And life cycles, so there is going to be plan again like maybe the sprints or any kind of scrums we have in traditional software, and in AI software is going to be very continuous. Even if we follow any kind of software product development life cycle we follow, but it is like maybe the scenario would be to not meet that. Okay, so since we saw why we need to do documentation, there are two kinds of documentation when you come to software product development. So first one would be product documentation, and second one is process documentation. So in product documentation, like as the term says, you define the product requirements, you do end user manuals, and you also design user experience, right? And for process documentation, it is going to be internal. Whereas in product documentation, it is going to be external. And these manuals are going to reach the users or the developers or students who is going to integrate the product with the application, right? And in process documentation, like we will be documenting the plans, roadmaps, and test schedules. That is going to be internally with the team. And next, it is RDLC. So we have SDLC, right? Software Development Lifecycle. So for product development also, product documentation also, there is a lifecycle called as document development lifecycle. So there are three main phases with 6 sub-processes involved. So first we do the analysis. We do some let's say you have an AI startup and you have developed the product and you are ready to push it out to your customers. Okay, let's all be the same scenario. So first you need to analyze your competitors, analyze the market in which you are producing the product, and after that you need to plan with the team. And the second phase you need to design the UX and the UI of the document. You need to choose the right tool and you will start developing it. And in the final stage, you need to proofread, edit, publish with your technical content writers or documentation experts. And finally, you need to do maintenance. So the maintenance is highlighted because since this session is for AI software product documentation, maintenance plays a very crucial role because AI softwares are not meant to be documented once and left for like many years. It is going to be continuously maintained as the field is evolving. So maintenance is highlighted here, and that's where I'm making the documentation and the maintenance part of the product. So let's say you have participated in a hackathon and you have developed a full-fledged AI product. And after developing the product, you will face all these 5 challenges to push it into the market. So complexity of concepts. Not everyone and not everyone in field like retail or agriculture or finance know what AI is and how. Even if they know what AI is, it is not much clearer to them. So you must be very sure to easy concepts to all your users. And the second one is rapid evolution of technology. Since the technology is so much rapidly evolving, it is very important to include all kinds of development practices, even practices, and we have user-focused language. So yeah, based on your local linguistics, it is very beneficial if you have a language very easy to understand and explaining AI's black box nature. So AI is black box in nature, and we must solve this by using ethical AI practices and responsible AI as well. And documentation can be a very good part in that. And ensuring ethical clarity and transparency. Yeah, fourth and fifth are related to that. And firstly, we are going to know the techniques of documenting AI software. So these are 4 C's of documentation: clear, concise, coherent, and correct. So I think this infographic is self-explanatory, and I'm sure you know what 4 words mean. to have a clear picture of it. And yeah, this is one more saying I like. Voluminous documentation is part of the problem, not part of the solution. If you're thinking your product is not reaching to the users or customers, and if you're developing a documentation that is very huge to read, that is not going to be a solution. That is going to create another problem. So, if you're developing documentation, make sure it is very concise and very small, so that it is within a few glance, you will be able to understand what the product is, and you can understand how to prepare it, right? And if you're a startup or if you're any company or even if you're preparing a presentation even for your hackathon thing, like, but this is intended for startups, startups basically, since I work with them. So I saw these 8 things should be included in a product's documentation that will help for both products growth and also SEO's growth as well. Okay. So first one is problem statement and product description. So what problem statement is your product solving, and what is the solution that you're giving in a very clear and concise manner. In the first place, it's required, and in second, SDK and API references. Like you can give me GitHub or the code base where your product is maintained. Like if you're started, of course you need to mention the open source repository of yours, so that's needed. And third, interactive demos, videos, and diagrams. So as I already said, many people are consuming only videos rather than reading the documentation. So it is very essential to design demos, product demos by yourself and doing architecture diagrams and uploading to your documentation, right? And fourth is industry use cases and examples. Like if your product is solving solutions in various sectors. So if you are building AI agents marketplace, and it is going to solve problems in retail, finance, security, in many kind of domains. You must be very sure to develop use cases, creative use cases, and upload to your site so that it is even a commoner without AI knowledge can read and refer and integrate your product into their system. And light paper and white paper. So light paper and white paper is just like research paper that you do for a startup. And it is very good that you boil down the points in the paper and have one part of your documentation as that. And next, version control and change logs. So for example, so if you are developing a product in 1 year and second year, you are also like changing the versions of your product. It is helpful that if you have documentation for API version 1 and API version 2. So the people who use your product the previous year will use API version 1 and the people who are currently present will use version 2. So versioning your documentation is also important. And then next is very important, ethical considerations and bias. So how your product is secure and what data it is collecting from the customers and how the AI's black box connection is broken and taken into users. To include all these details is very important. And finally, FAQs and troubleshooting. So yeah, like you can include the most commonly asked questions by your customers or clients. So there are many style guides basically. Style guide is a set of rules that you use to develop your documentation. It's not essential to by heart every rule in the documentation that is present, but you can, if you are writing a blog, you can just go to any kind of documentation present here and refer the books, right? So these are some style guides that technical writers use. And basically, I use Google Developer Documentation Style Guide. So yeah, and I hope you all took notes of these products. Yeah, so you can go to this link and refer the style guide on how to document your product. So the documentation is originally 250 to 300 pages long. It is not possible by a computer to read that. So these are the 6 things that Google Developer Documentation tells us. So first, how do you display code, how do you use Markdown and Markup, and how do you name your files, how do you format your code and format your text, and how do you do internal linking and hyperlinking, and finally your grammar. So these are 6 main sections in Google Developer Documentation. So let us see one example of using Google Style Guide. Okay, so like the first one is the technical definition. Second one is the file naming style, and the third one is like displaying technical terminology. Okay, so if you are writing a definition, and making the term italic is not a good practice, whereas you can bold the term. Right? This is one of the practices. And you can see now, extract the zip file. So that is recommended. And what is not recommended is unzip the zip file. So it doesn't make sense, and it's not a good proper language for developers jargon, right? So it is very helpful if you read Google developer documentation and try to use it in your product as well. And yeah, so 85% of the organizations have content guidelines, but only 30% enforce them consistently. So this clearly tells that why consistency is important for the product. As you design the logo, colors of your product, it is also very essential to choose your tone, choose the brand voice and brand tone to your company. So it is every page of your website and every page of your product documentation and user manual is consistent across. And next we are going to see some of the tools that you can use, free and free tools as well. So yeah, quickly take a look of this and then I will segment these tools and give you a clear picture of what will be the right choice of yours. Okay, so we have DocuSign, Gitbook and all. So yeah, so these are static generators and those are collaborative tools. So static tools like you can use DocuSign with Node, you can use Sphinx with Python, and Slate is with doc generator, Doxygen with DID based, and MJ Docs is markdown based. These are static generators and it is very best if you are looking to document your API on code. Okay, so those tools are efficient when you are a team and if you want to develop channel documentation across teams. So if you are a developer team doing the API documentation and the customer support team wants to do FAQs, so you can share them. But these kind of tools are not beneficial in such cases because the code base might not be understood by other teams, other non-technical teams, right? So yeah, this is a quick. So find what suits you. Then we have DocuSign, Confluence, Document 360. So it is a product of Core 360. The Core company and Sphinx as well. So these four tools provide templates, documentation templates. You don't even have to create the UI and UX of your documentation website. They already provide templates for marketing or technical product or any kind of you can explore. So these are some benefits of these tools. So you can convert to HTML, you can add comments, like you can export it as PDFs, text files, and you can collaborate with your teams. These are some generic advantages of these template-based tools. So normally these kind of tools are important. These kind of AI tools are also important if you are a consultant to maintain a large base of clients basically. So my chart, it is an automatic flowchart builder. You can just give a code, and it will automatically generate the flowchart. You just export and copy paste. But I think 5 diagrams are free in that, and after you need to promote. And Grammarly, obviously, and Google tools, Simplest for keyword research and competitive analysis, Adobe Firefly for generating images, graphics and all, and then GitHub Copilot. If you are doing coding in your documentation, then you can use GitHub Copilot to autofill your code. Then obviously ChatGPT and Copy.ai is a very good tool to create your own brand voice. So basically, I am working in AI agent marketplace, like in decentralized AI domain, and working with startups based in US, right? So, like what I personally felt as a very early stage professional is like these terms were very good for me. Like, even though I had a very extensive knowledge on AI and its applications, but still decentralized AI agents, multi-statics, federated learning, bias audits, AI and quantum computing, and XAI is nothing but explained AI. Like these terms are like when I was pushed to the field, like I was very it was very difficult for me to learn. because of lack of good documentation. But now startups have chosen technical writers to do this and to help other developer communities.